this video, we'll learn how to work the I-cord tab cast-on using lifted left increases. The I-cord tab cast-on is used when a seamless I-cord edge is desired across the top of a shawl or other knitted item. To begin the cast-on, cast on the number of stitches for one of the I-cord edges. For many patterns, this is 2 or 3 stitches. A long tail cast-on can be used for these starting stitches, but I prefer to use a provisional cast-on to make picking up stitches easier later on. I'm going to be using the invisible provisional cast-on here. And if you want more information or detail about it, make sure to check out its own tutorial video. Because of the cast-on that I'm using, and because the lifted left increase requires there be 2 rows below to work, I am purling across the back of this provisional cast-on before I start the I-cord tab cast-on. We've now cast on one border edge of the item, and so now we're going to cast on the main stitches that make up the body of the shawl. For shawls, this is the starting stitches in the middle between the 2 border edges. To begin the I-cord tab cast-on, knit to the end of the row, at which point we're going to cast on a stitch using a lifted left increase. A lifted left increase is created by inserting the left needle from back to front through the stitch 2 rows below the stitch that we just worked on the needle. So here's the stitch we just worked on the needle, here's 1 row below, and the second row below is actually right into this provisional cast on edge. If you cast on tightly, it can be a little hard to pick this up, and so do the best you can. At this point, we're going to knit into the back loop of that stitch. And that completes our lifted left increase. We've also cast on 1 stitch. At this point, slip all of the stitches back onto the left needle purlwise so that we can work them again. We're going to knit the I-cord edge stitches again. For me, this is 3, but for you, it might be a different number. And you'll notice that you now have 1 unworked stitch at the end of the row. There's going to be 1 more unworked stitch every single time we work this cast on. I'm going to increase again by going not into the stitch on the needle, not into the first row, but into the second row from back to front, and then knitting that through the back loop. And slipping all 4 of those stitches back onto the left needle. At this point, we just repeat those steps to cast on the desired number of stitches. Knit the border stitches, and use a lifted left increase to cast on a new stitch. At this point, we've completed about half of the cast on, but we still haven't worked on our cast on edge. I'm going to stop this video just for length's sake. And to see how to work across and pick up stitches from the cast on edge, check out the videos linked above. One is for the invisible provisional cast on and one is for the long tail cast on. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you would like new videos delivered right to your inbox, check out our newsletter at knit.tips/news.